Hello everyone, I'm back with a new video on how the narcissist plays mind games to keep you under control. Alright, so I'm gonna get going really quickly. So the first mind game is to appear very trustworthy in the beginning. So it was someone I was romantically involved with, and we video chatted, spoke to each other a lot. And she's wealthy, and I thought she was a few years older and all that. And guess what? She has a husband. Didn't know that. Anyway, she buys me a plane ticket so I can see her. And my naive ass goes along with it. Anyway, they ask you questions in ways that builds a false sense of trust, a sense that you can trust them in a way that you really can't pick up on when you're caught up with the idealization. She idealized me in a big way, and for all the wrong reasons. For my physical appearance. Alright, so you open up with them about a lot of things that you normally wouldn't under normal circumstances. And that ties into the second mind game. Small little bits of criticism start to be used. Say they start acting in questionable ways. They do something really questionable, and you catch it. You confront them calmly. You will hear, "You're overthinking. You're young. I see things differently, better than you do. You're young. You shouldn't be feeling like this. Oh, what's the big deal?" Again, you overthink things. They do questionable, toxic shit. And then they criticize your reactions for it, and they try to dictate how you should feel about it. With this woman, it was, you overthink. That was the big one. You overthink things. You think too deeply into things. Yeah, I didn't even realize she was double my age till the very end. After a phone call with her in which I caught her in a lie about something, and she went into a narcissistic rage, yelling, talking like a 10 to 15-year-old, 40 years old. You can't tell the truth about one thing. Even when there's evidence that you're lying about something. You're overthinking things, and this starts really early. Small things they'll lie about. Third one, they instill a sense of fear in you. A fear that they'll stop talking to you. A fear that you're not good enough. So they'll bring other people into the equation. So, she would randomly block me on social media and then unblock me. So, the first thing that goes through my mind is, what did I do wrong? Is there something I did? What did I do wrong? They feed off that. They feed off that fear that they're going to stop talking to you. They're going to just stop talking to you altogether, ghost you. Fourth one. So, based on the information you've given them, And the little criticisms they give you, you overthink things. And that is one of the flaws they'll say you have. And they'll use these flaws against you. It's another mind game they play. So they'll go back to a time where you were really concerned about something they did. It hurt you. It bothered you in some way. They'll use that reaction against you and attribute that to your so-called flaw. For me, it was that I overthink things. See what I'm saying? They use that against you. Next one. They portray themselves as a victim. So while she was playing me like a fiddle, she'd go back and she would use this quote a lot. I'm very trusting to a fault. Let me repeat myself. I am very trusting to a fault. And she would talk about an experience where she was catfished and all these things happened to her while playing me like a fiddle. And she was trying to make a point that my fears and concerns, not really fears, but my concern based on her behavior, inconsistent behavior, at times flat out abusive with the yelling and the gaslighting on the phone. They will talk about an experience where they were hurt, done wrong, catfish, to portray themselves in a way that makes them look blameless. So, something goes wrong, it will be someone else's fault. For example, her husband. So she randomly blocked me for no reason on social media and then unblocked me and ended up talking to me. She blamed her husband. But the funny part is, and she said her husband was mad at her. Funny part is, though, is that he actually called me. Talked to me, told me that he was actually cool with me and his wife seeing each other. It's a really weird situation. But it actually makes a little bit of sense to me now because this woman only wanted me sexually. I caught this situation early enough that I'm still here at home. I'm safe. I'm not in Des Moines, Iowa right now, in a situation that's potentially unsafe. Duty and obligation. That's the next mind game. They create a sense of duty and obligation. With this woman, it was, you have to trust me. You have to trust me. You need to trust me. So despite all the things that were going on, and I was noticing, I'm somehow supposed to act like those things didn't happen. And I need to trust her. So, I ended up finding out that she was double my age. I am 20 years old. She is 40. Didn't know that, actually, until the very end. Anyway, she would use my age as leverage over the situation. Use my age as leverage. You're young, you're 20. You shouldn't be getting upset over the things I'm doing to you. You're 20, you're young, you can figure this out, this is fine. You're overthinking things. What's wrong? I'm not doing anything wrong. bullshit. It was this unspoken expectation that I could just trust her. It was my duty. Remember, you need to trust me. They try to create this unspoken expectation that you should trust them. It's our mind game that they play. But hey, how do we combat all of this? What's the solution to this? So if you ever find yourself in these kinds of situations, here's my suggestions. You don't want to give these kinds of people a reaction. That's the first and foremost thing. You gotta stay calm and steady when you're dealing with these kinds of people. If you're confronting them, keep it healthy. Again, stay calm and steady. You have to hold your ground because they lie a lot. These kinds of people lie a lot. Hold your ground. Don't let them try to manipulate you. Useless arguments are avoidable. So don't make them unavoidable. You have power of the situation to walk away. Because these pathological narcissists want you kind of enmeshed. And I got enmeshed for a while. But I caught on to all of this. And I got her to cut all of this off. Because I didn't even know if the husband is someone I was talking to, actually. Because she blamed her randomly blocking me on Instagram on her husband. It's kind of weird. Suspect to me. So, there you have it. I'll make another video on narcissists not liking your freedom and autonomy. And I'm going to talk about that broadly. They try to dictate your emotions, what you should feel. They tell you what you should feel after they've done something to hurt you. But yeah, and I'll get into that later, but for now I want to talk about the mind games that these kinds of people play. Hope you guys have a great new year, and if any of you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe, like this video, show me that you've watched this. Thanks.